Our presentation is it deals with the third apprenticeship, Cultivating Professional Identity in Law School. We have developed a Center for Ethical Formation. We have about 3 years of experience, and you're going to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly.
And so, as Ben said, we started our center just a couple years ago. We've already had some great success. We're very passionate about this at Regent. So what we're going to do is talk a little bit about some of the successes. One of the things that we already had was a professionalism ceremony that was very successful with students. We're going to talk to you about some other things that we've more recently developed in this area. One thing is the mentor program. We started 2 years ago. We have 72 students. It's a voluntary program that are paired with practicing lawyers and judges in the area. Again, it's voluntary. We have 99 mentors in our system. In the new class that's come in, 40 students have volunteered to be in this program, and the feedback has been very positive. Another strength and success has been in our PR instruction. We believe that integrating not just talking about the rules, but actually talking about values, and how students can integrate their values into their approach to ethics, is critical, and student feedback on that course is actually really positive. And one of the things that we do in that course, it's something that I adapted from Nathan Crystal, another professor, maybe some of you know him. He has students write a philosophy of lawyering paper. Now, every student at Regent, before they graduate, is required to write a philosophy of lawyering paper in which they talk about how they're going to integrate their personal values with their ethical decision making.
An excellent corollary to the PR course is our upper level civil procedure course. Most students take it after professional responsibility. They know the rules, and most students take it. It's not required, but most students take it. It's a simulation course with a lawsuit, and it presents as a key part of the course at each stage of the litigation problems that the students face that are in the gray area between the rules and ethical principles. So they have to prepare reflection papers based on the prompts we give them, turn them in, get feedback, and get graded. Another area we've considered a success is the ripple effect in our curriculum. Other professors have come to us and asked for professional identity modules to put into their course.
And so as Ben said, that we have faced some challenges as well, and I was just telling my students the other day, we grow and learn through facing challenges. So even though we've got a lot of buy-in from our faculty and from our students in this area, we have faced some challenges. So we're going to talk about that in the respect that Ben's going to raise a complaint, and I'm going to raise a response to that.
Oh, this is fun. Curricular integration, you're going to take over the law school, and you're going to not teach students
Ben, it doesn't
law.
have to take a lot of time. Students need to see that in small ways throughout the entire curriculum, professional identity is important, whether drafting a will, litigating a case. It's so important throughout the entire curriculum.
Professionalism. I've heard about that since I was in the law school in the 80s.
Professional identity is not the same as professionalism. Professionalism is do's and don'ts primarily. Professional identity is helping students know what values are important to them so they can act in accordance with those and operate with integrity.
You know, law schools do pretty darn well if you sit back and think about it. And, you know, I think the critics
Have you read
off.
any of the studies about lawyer depression, substance abuse, law student unhappiness? They're coming out all over the place. We need to help students develop a moral core so they can have personal fulfillment.
And assessment. How in the world are you going to assess someone's values? You're going to look into their heart and
Law schools have done it for years, Ben. They've done it for years. Reflection, journaling papers have happened for years. We can develop rubrics for this, as we've done in so many different areas. It doesn't have to be that difficult.
And finally, aren't you really just creating little robots that are,
it's not
replicas of the faculty?
It's not about just inculcating values. It's about helping the students know what values are important to them so they can understand how to integrate that when they practice. So you can see there are some obstacles, but we have tried to overcome them, and so we're going to talk about some specific ways at Regent that we've addressed these issues. Even though there's a lot of buy-in, we've still had to overcome some obstacles. And I have another second. So here we go.
You see that we have, in the upper level part of the curriculum, a fair amount of professional identity formation, but we know that it needs to start earlier. It needs to start in the first year. So we're proposing a first-year required course that would introduce students to the legal system and to how their values will be affected in that system. And We also, in trying to get the credits for that first year course, are educating our colleagues and students on what professional identity formation is. We have had a faculty retreat, we have colloquia, we have speakers come in, and assessment is the area that a lot of folks wonder, how the heck can you assess? And we have to show them. There are rubrics. David Thompson's got a great one. If anyone wants to see one on the Discovery course. And formative assessment is something that law school's a little bit weak on in some law schools.
And so the power of collaboration, notice we have a nod to ETL here with the logo up here. This is an area that probably for all of us in this room, when we were in law school, we weren't in an environment where professional identity was talked about. We're probably mostly geared towards the cognitive domain and not the affective domain. We need to learn from each other in this area. And so one of the things that we want to leave you with is we've actually developed a short survey questionnaire we'd ask all of you to respond to, just to talk about what you're doing in this area at your respective school. We in advance appreciate your feedback. 1 page, it's short. Thank you.